Today on The Big Question, I'm joined by the legend, David Morales. Let's jump into it. Hey, it's Graham from Data Transmission, and today on The Big Question, I welcome the legend that is David Morales. And we're going to chat about his tips for working with Vocalist. Obviously, David's been around since the way back from the early days of house music in New York, and he's one of the pioneers of the scene. I'm very lucky to join him on The Big Question with him today. Before we jump into it, please drop me please comment below, big question, when you find some value from this video, or if you do really like it, then please smash the bell, all that jazz on YouTube. Really like growing this fan base, really like knowing what you like and what you don't like. Really helps me grow the content for you. So let's jump into it. Hey David, thank you for joining me on The Big Question. And your big question is, what are your tips working with a vocalist?
Hello everyone, my name is David Morales. I'm here to talk about how to work with a vocalist. Now, as some of you that may not know, I have worked with some of the best singers in pop and R&B, from the late or great Aretha Franklin, Cecile, Mariah Carey, Julio Iglesias, Donna Summers, many great background singers that have worked with some of the best artists in the world. Working with a vocalist is not as simple as it seems. You need to, your job as a producer is to bring the best out of a singer when you're doing a session. Be it a lead singer, be it background singers. And imagine sometimes with background singers, it depends on what you're hearing. You need to bring, imagine working with 2, 3, 4 to 5 singers. You need to find the balance of what sound you want. Mic technique, when to say closer to the mic, and the other 3, you can say one person back away because they're too strong for the sound, or you're hearing too much of them. You're there to direct traffic. You're there to produce. You're there to get them to get the sound and to deliver what you want. Sometimes you have a vocalist that writes their own songs, so it makes it easier because they wrote the song, they feel the emotion. You have many singers that you have songs written for them. So you have to make the singer feel good that they're doing a good job when they're doing a good job. If they're not doing a good job, you have to go about it, okay, what you're hearing. And then sometimes people get stuck on a phrase. You can't get stuck too much on a phrase, but after the singer has sang it 50 times, they start to get frustrated because you've been singing the same line and there's no progress. So you have to know when to say, okay, let's move on to the rest of the song, and we'll come back to this later, because you need to do the rest of the song. So you don't want to get too frustrated in the beginning of the session. Remember that you're dealing with a person that's got emotion, the moods, and you're there to bring the best out of them. You cannot be afraid to suggest an idea. I think my most intimidating moment when I was working with Aretha Franklin, and something bothered me, and I'm like, how can I tell Aretha Franklin something is bothering me when for me, I was a nobody. I'm a young kid from Brooklyn. I'm doing remixes. I've barely wet my feet in a production stage. I'm not seasoned yet. The only singer I've worked with was Mariah Carey. The next biggest singer I'm working with is Aretha Franklin. And here I'm saying Aretha Franklin has worked with some of the best in the world. The top. She's in the whole Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, I'm the little Dave Morales, DJ Remixer. But imagine that she made me feel secure. So the shoe went on the other foot where she says, you're here because you know what you're doing. And we're here to do this together. And that was the best compliment that she could have given me, because I can easily become frustrated. Well, intimidated, and intimidation can create frustration. So anyway, so that's an example. I've had to learn all these things by working with great singers that has allowed me to become a good vocal producer. I consider myself a very good vocal producer. I know how to work with singers, and I love working with singers. I think it's amazing when, especially with background singers, be it 1, be it 2, be it 3, be it 4, be it 5, be it 10, be it 20, to create something, to create magic. And I call it magic because when you create music, it's beautiful, it's magic. So, you know, working with a vocalist, you know, things take training. You know, many vocalists, I've worked with some that for the first time they work with a producer because they're allowed to do what they want. Sometimes with the world of the internet today, you have to work this way. I prefer to work with a vocalist because they're all saying that 2 heads are better than 1. And together you can come up with different ideas because a producer hears something and the vocalist hears something. And together you have to come to compromise. I don't want to call it compromise because the artist is supposed to follow what the producer says. Unless you're Aretha Franklin and you turn Dave Morales, yo, listen to me, this is how it's done. So listen, this is lesson 3.0 on how to work with a vocalist. And remember, the more you do something, the better you get at it. In a sense, so don't be afraid that, oh, I don't know. We all have to start somewhere because that's how it's been. You know, I remember I worked with Robert Owens and Byron Stingley where I got Robert doing vocals in my bathroom. You know what I mean? There is no studio. We have natural reverb, but not Be Your Friend. It's in my bathroom. Byron Stingley, My Piece of Heaven, in my bedroom. So, you know, there's different ways. And then you move up to the famous recording studio and blah, 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 blah. So, until next time, David Morales.
Thanks for joining me on The Big Question today. That's some really good value from David, I thought. Really good, interesting stuff about using a vocalist and working with vocalists. If you got some value, please drop a comment below. I'd really love to know what you got out of this and if you found it useful. I'll see you again next time. Thanks.